When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is disaster. Patience is a virtue, and I'm learning patience. It's a tough lesson. I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. I think there should be regulations on social media to the degree that it negatively affects the public good. If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it's not. People work better when they know what the goal is and why. It is important that people look forward to coming to work in the morning and enjoy working. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket as long as you control what happens to that basket. I usually describe myself as an engineer. That's basically what I've been doing since I was a kid. To make an embarrassing admission, I like video games. That's what got me into software engineering when I was a kid. I wanted to make money so I could buy a better computer to play better video games, nothing like saving the world. When I was in college, I wanted to be involved in things that would change the world. I think that's the single best piece of advice. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself. Rockets are cool. There's no getting around that. Brand is just a perception, and perception will match reality over time. Sometimes it will be ahead, other times it will be behind. But brand is simply a collective impression some have about a product. If we drive down the cost of transportation in space, we can do great things. Any product that needs a manual to work is broken. Really, the only thing that makes sense is to strive for greater collective enlightenment. We can't have, willy-nilly proliferation of fake news. That's crazy. You can't have more types of fake news than real news. That's allowing public deception to go unchecked. That's crazy. If you go back a few hundred years, what we take for granted today would seem like magic, being able to talk to people over long distances, to transmit images, flying, accessing vast amounts of data like an oracle. These are all things that would have been considered magic a few hundred years ago. In order to have your voice be heard in Washington, you have to make some little contribution. The factory is the machine that builds the machine. If I'm not in love, if I'm not with a long-term companion, I cannot be happy. We're already cyborgs. Your phone and your computer are extensions of you, but the interface is through finger movements or speech, which are very slow. The value of beauty and inspiration is very much underrated, no question. But I want to be clear. I'm not trying to be anyone's savior. I'm just trying to think about the future and not be sad. There's a silly notion that failure's not an option at NASA. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. I think we are at the dawn of a new era in commercial space exploration. I don't create companies for the sake of creating companies, but to get things done. I've actually not read any books on time management. A company is a group organized to create a product or service, and it is only as good as its people and how excited they are about creating. I do want to recognize a ton of super talented people. I just happen to be the face of the companies. If humanity doesn't land on Mars in my lifetime, I would be very disappointed. Life is too short for long-term grudges. If you're trying to create a company, it's like baking a cake. You have to have all the ingredients in the right proportion. If something's important enough, you should try, even if the probable outcome is failure. I think it's very important to have a feedback loop where you're constantly thinking about what you've done and how you could be doing it better. I think that's the single best piece of advice. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself. I would like to die on Mars, just not on impact. I think it matters whether someone has a good heart. People should pursue what they are passionate about. That will make them happier than pretty much anything else. We're running the most dangerous experiment in history right now, which is to see how much carbon dioxide the atmosphere can handle before there is an environmental catastrophe. Great companies are built on great products. I always invest my own money in the companies that I create. I don't believe in the whole thing of just using other people's money. I don't think that's right. I'm not going to ask other people to invest in something if I'm not prepared to do so myself. Self-driving cars are the natural extension of active safety and obviously something we should do. I think you should always bear in mind that entropy is not on your side. I really do encourage other manufacturers to bring electric cars to market. It's a good thing, and they need to bring it to market and keep iterating and improving and make better and better electric cars, and that's what's going to result in humanity achieving a sustainable transport future. I wish it was growing faster than it is. I think we have a duty to maintain the light of consciousness to make sure it continues into the future. Tesla is here to stay and keep fighting for the electric car revolution. There have to be reasons that you get up in the morning and you want to live. Why do you want to live? What's the point? What inspires you? What do you love about the future? If the future does not include being out there among the stars and being a multi-planet species, I find that incredibly depressing. Starting a business is not for everyone. Starting a business, I'd say, number one is have a high pain threshold. I will never be happy without having someone. Going to sleep alone kills me. If you're entering anything where there is an existing marketplace against large, entrenched competitors, then your product or service needs to be much better than theirs. It can't be a little bit better, because then you put yourself in the shoes of the consumer. You're always going to buy the trusted brand unless there's a big difference. It's very important to like the people you work with. Otherwise, your job is going to be quite miserable. I think life on Earth must be about more than just solving problems. It's got to be something inspiring, even if it is vicarious. I say something, and then it usually happens. Maybe not on schedule, but it usually happens. We are the first species capable of self-annihilation. If you don't have sustainable energy, you haven't sustainable energy. The fundamental value of a company like Tesla is the degree to which it accelerates the advent of sustainable energy faster than it would otherwise occur. When Henry Ford made cheap, reliable cars, people said, "Nah, what's wrong with a horse?" That was a huge bet he made, and it worked. The problem is that at a lot of big companies, process becomes a substitute for thinking. You're encouraged to behave like a little gear in a complex machine. Frankly, it allows you to keep people who aren't that smart, who aren't that creative. Man has the power to act as his own destroyer, and that is the way he has acted through most of his history. You could warm Mars up over time with greenhouse gases. The future of humanity is going to bifurcate in two directions. Either it's going to become multi-planetary, or it's going to remain confined to one planet, and eventually there is going to be an extinction event. The key to making things affordable is design and technology improvements, as well as scale.